I should be able to edit it. Good deal.
Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live is not quite, my little progress bar has not gone all the way across yet, but there we go. All right. Yeah.
Cool.
I've got it working.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Let me see if I can. Now all I need to do is go to the videos and change the title, and that's all we'll have to do. Da-da-da-da. Oh, no, perfect. It's already that. All right, awesome. Okay, now all I have to do is share the URL.
Just the little yellow link on the email will get you in.
Yellow link?
Uh-huh.
And it looks like it's running, what, 10 or 15 seconds behind?
I think I read somewhere there was like a 20-second delay or something, but that sounds about right. So yeah, if you got them both running at the same time, it'll drive you crazy. So
it's a short drive with me.
Oh. So yeah, anybody else hail from, let's see, we've had someone from Colorado, we've had someone from Europe, we've got somebody from Tennessee, we're in Kentucky. So anybody else from a different spot in the universe?
This is Ed. I'm from Boston.
Hi, Ed. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Let's see. I know we've got Holly here with us. She's from Knoxville, Tennessee. So.
Hi, Don.
Hey, Holly. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you. Very well, thank you.
Great. Great to have you. All right. Well, I'm glad. I know it was just real riveting conversation to watch us try to figure out how to set up YouTube live streaming, but I think we've got it working now. So
yeah. There we go, and now it's shared on social. So
all right, perfect. All right. So so how did everybody hear about us? Was it a social media post you saw, or an email, or
Meetup?
Meetup? Oh, wow. Very cool. Very cool. Meetup's a pretty good platform.
Yeah, I really like just the sheer diversity of the groups and interests. You know, there's a corporate component, but there's also just an informal social component. You're muted, Don.
Oh, sorry.
I
was answering a question offline.
Oh.
Do you have a link?
Leo Bennett's trying to get on, and did you try the yellow link? Did the yellow link let you in?
Hello link?
On Zoom? No?
It's all white.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Hello.
I had trouble as well getting on, Don. For some reason, it took me a while to get on.
Really?
I hope it's nothing like the Zoom problems that happened, what was it, a week ago or so? Like
yeah, seems like I heard about that.
60,000 people or something. That was nuts. Oh, and also, oh, there we go. Oh, no. Could you also make me a co-host?
Oh, have I not done that yet?
Yeah, I thought you did, and then it's like it didn't happen, which is weird.
We did it on the test run.
Oh, that's okay. That explains it. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. And
there we go. Now we're good.
Thanks. And Mr. iPad number 2, if you want, I can rename you into something that's, you know, whatever you prefer to go by. or not. Oh, and Holly's in the stream now. Hey, Holly. Oh, there we go.
Hi, Leo.
Hey,
I was muted. I'm sorry.
no worries.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself and take care of a little technical issue, and I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Now, I hate to beat a dead horse, but which one of you said you were from, was it Colorado Springs? I was so fixated on the, oh, you? Okay, I just added you on LinkedIn, actually. In your
Yes,
link.
I'm in Colorado Springs.
Cool. I spent all of 10 minutes in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
I had an emergency landing en route to Denver, and my best friend in high school, though, was from there. So its reputation had sort of preceded it, and it was a very positive reputation. So, yeah.
We had like 3 inches of snow here yesterday.
I'm not even shocked. When I went, it was middle May, and the first day it was so hot that I had to carry water everywhere. And the next day there was like 3 inches of snow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bizarre thing for me at least.
Yeah, we had it was 90 degrees Monday, and then Tuesday morning it was below 30.
Yeah, it was yeah, people joke about Kentucky weather changing, but it's not that dramatic.
Yeah, what's it doing in Kentucky right now?
Right now it's nice and warm. It's a little cloudy, but that's normal given that it's almost 7 p.m. So yeah, it's been a really mild summer actually, from compared to the past few at least. So it's been nice.
Are y'all in Louisville or?
We're in Lexington, which is about an hour away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which you're about in the same boat. You're like what, an hour's drive from Denver?
Yeah, a little bit less, although they're doing construction on the interstate. And when traffic's bad, it can take quite a while.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, it's really pretty country though. I will say that. Like, and I used to raise cows in the southeast part of the state, and I met a cattle farmer out that way. And I wish I could remember the name of it, but the altitude, it's something I never thought about. Cows would get this bizarre form of altitude sickness where they would just swell up. And he said that it was just a genetic predisposition to get it. And so you just had to sell them to somebody who didn't live, a mile above sea level. So, it was a very odd thing. And it was named after a part of the steak, which was the oddest thing about it. It sounded like something you'd order at a steakhouse, but it was the disease's name too. I just can't remember what it was called.
Leo, do you know what the name of the YouTube live stream is? Did we rename it something else?
Yes, it's Stephen Key, How to Be a Professional Inventor.
Okay.
And in fact,
it's different than the one we had on there before, right?
Yes, and in fact, the one that we had on, I'm going to make that one invisible, and I'm going to rename it so there's no confusion.
Okay, good. Yeah. I've got an email about that. That's the issue.
Gotcha.
Somebody said, I just see a book. What's going on?
I see. Yeah, I'll change that.
Okay.
Channel, YouTube Studio. Hi, Madeline. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing good. My mute's not on. Hold on.
No worries.
Oh, I'm doing good. How are all of you?
Good.
Nice. We're experiencing some fires out here, which isn't great, but yeah, getting through it.
Yowza.
Where are you, Madeline?
I'm in Lake Tahoe.
5 years, America is a racist country.
Yeah, we've been hearing about California's fires. We've got fires here in Colorado as well, but not as bad as California.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, I've seen some photos. It looks downright surreal.
That's the right word to use for it. Absolutely. My friends from San Francisco sent me some and sun never came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a picture of a UPS truck and everything was red behind it with the caption, UPS now makes deliveries to hell. Because, I mean, that's kind of what it looked like. Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to check on some noise here because I know Steven's coming on soon, and I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Thank you. Hey, Ryan. How have you been?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Going good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see Jesse's in the stream too now. And let me check on the stream. There we go. There's only one stream now. Good. Nobody's going to get confused by that one. All right. Good deal. And there's Bridget.
Yeah, thanks, Leo. I got a few emails in where they were trying to access the live stream and they were having difficulty because they were going to that one.
I see.
But,
yeah, well, it's gone now.
So,
good deal.
So, all right.
I thought I'd made it private, but apparently if you get the link, you can still view it. So I always mix up private and unlisted on YouTube anyway. I think that's the difference.
Well, hello, everyone. I finally made it, Don.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
I'm good, sir.
Good. Yeah, I apologize, everybody. I was kind of putting out some fires over here where no one can see. So trying to get some technical difficulties all nice and shored up before the meeting starts, which, gosh, we're going to officially start here in just a few minutes. So very cool.
If I'm kind of in and out, it's because I haven't eaten a thing today, and I need to fix some dinner here and get something in my stomach. So.
Now, Dan, are you in Central Florida?
Yes.
All right.
I was on with you at the meeting last Saturday.
Yes, I remember you.
Yeah, and I wrote to you about what I'm doing and sent some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of that idea?
I'll have to. I think I may have answered that, but I might have to get with you offline. Yeah, I think I might set up a quick call with you in a few days if you've got some time.
Yeah, you were saying next Wednesday.
Yep.
Okay. And yeah, so we'll touch base on that. So how many people are on tonight?
Well, we have 85 registered on Eventbrite, and that doesn't include our usual thing. And this is where and actually just got another email. Somebody's having trouble logging on. So fortunately, I think I've got an answer. I'm emailing back to all these people. So if I'm a little distracted, that's what's going on, guys. So if we hit 100, we've got an overflow, if you will, with a YouTube live stream. So and people can get on YouTube. But I think the link we sent them was not the same link of the video stream that we actually set up. So I think that's what's probably happening here. So we got a few just emails I had to answer right quick. But other than that, so far so good. So. So let's see, we've got California, we've got Central Florida, we've got Kentucky, we've got Tennessee, we've got Europe, we've got I think I said Colorado. Anybody else from an interesting location?
Anybody from India?
No, we actually had someone from India. A few. That was probably the furthest out. So that was pretty neat.
I'll have to tell my friends there all about it.
We've got somebody from Europe tonight, so that's always fun. So hey, Stephen.
Hey, Don, how are you doing?
Good. How about you?
Well, I'm doing better now that I'm here. So how's everybody doing tonight? Good. Thumbs up. Good, everybody. Good.
Great.
Gee, I see a familiar face. Someone was listening to me last night. You were there. You're back again. Why are you back? Oh, we have Miha. We have a lot of people back. Miha, you're back. You're someplace far away, and it's late at night for you. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So Don, I'll let you
cool.
take it away.
All right. Well, we'll just go ahead and get started if everybody's ready. Well, let me ask this real quick. I know we've got Madeline here too. Do either one of you or both of you want to be co-hosts to control the PowerPoint? Or I can do it. Either, whatever's comfortable for you guys.
I'm happy to do it.
Okay. I'll let you all share the screen or make you the co-host. That way you can share screen when it gets time, and you can do all the cool stuff that you do when you have to advance a PowerPoint.
Fingers crossed I can press next slide, but hey,
Okay.
glad you have faith.
Yeah, we're going to make it really easy tonight. I'm just going to go next.
There you go.
So,
All
Don,
right.
you just want me to jump in?
Well, actually, I've got just a few things just to blow through real quick, probably just a couple minutes, and then we can move right on. Let's see. Let me do my screen share real quick.
Aren't we a little early, Don?
2 minutes and change, but that doesn't count, so it's all good.
Okay.
We're good. So let's see. I'll do my little screen share here, and there we go. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Good deal. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. This is our Inventors Network online meeting, and we're really pleased to have a lot of people from just a lot of different cool places. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming. Welcome to all the visitors we have, and thanks for signing up. We've got a lot of email announcements you'll be getting with more information from our organization and what all we do and how we help people. And just a few quick announcements to blow through right fast. If you are a member and it's time to re-up, you can always do that online, or if you want to become a member, you can do that just by going to our website, kyinventors.org. Also, you can go to our website and now sign up for text alerts. It's beginning to be a big thing right now. So be sure and do that as well. If you're not following us on social media, please be sure and do so. We're pretty much KY Inventors on all the usual suspects, except for YouTube. YouTube, you can check us out as Empowered Inventing TV. And we have a lot of different videos that we have. You can like and subscribe. Here's a recent one that we did. Why should you practice your pitch in front of a mirror? We talked a little bit about that. So check that out. Also, if you're looking for a deeper dive into the videos, we have Empowered Inventing Academy, where you can actually take online courses and learn from everything from getting started with your idea to building a business around it. So, all right. As I said before, just watch your inbox for emails. We've got special announcements and a lot of just really cool stuff coming up very, very soon. Next month, we're going to have Benjamin Harrison, a LinkedIn expert who Stephen knows very well, getting ready to launch a book, and just very, very cool. We're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to hearing from Benjamin. as well. So we've got a really great double header here for September and October. So all right, our quote of the month, to get the results very few people have, be strong enough to do what very few people are willing to do. And that comes from Robin Sharma. Good advice, I think. So anyway, with that, just wanted to kind of get through those real fast so we could have our introduce our very special guest. It's been way too long. We've been way overdue having Stephen come and speak for us, and we're just so tickled to have him on. So Stephen, with that, I'm going to let you just take it away, and we're really anxious to hear what all you have to say.
Well, Don, I'm ready. I've got my red shirt on for you. I'm ready to light it up tonight for you.
Don, I think you should be the right one to cue up the presentation, actually.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead. I want the pro to do it.
Okay. I want to say a couple things first before we get started. Number one, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I'm a big believer in education, and I'm a big believer, get as much education from as many people as you can, get a lot of different opinions. You have to. There's more than one way to do this. I'm going to talk about things that I've learned along the way, but also if you're not part of Don's world, become part of Don's world and do that with his YouTube channel. Sign up for all the different things that he's providing his community. Don knows what he's doing. I've known him for years. So he's the real deal. He's got it. He understands it. He's a great teacher. So please follow him. And he's going to provide a lot of information for you. If you haven't signed up, please do. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm a big believer, like I said, in education. I'm a big believer in belonging to groups of like-minded individuals, right? We're stronger together than we are apart. And what I like, when we all come together, we can share stories, we could share contacts, we can learn from one another. And to me, it's very important to find your community. So find it. And I'm glad that you're here tonight. So I'm going to jump on in because, I want to mention one other thing. This book, Become a Professional Inventor, is going to be free tonight, 12 o'clock. I believe it's 12 o'clock West Coast. I think it's West Coast, for 48 hours on Amazon on Kindle. It's open. Get it. It's free. And I think it's from, like I said, tonight at 12 till 48 hours. So you have 2 days. So please get it if it's of interest to you. Okay. How to become a professional inventor. You see, I love this story I'm going to tell you tonight because I'm a professional inventor. In fact, I've made a living being an inventor. I mean, I paid the bills. I put my kids through school. I've collected royalty checks. I know what it's like to fight the fight. I know what it's like to have big ideas, small ideas. I know what it's like to depend on your creativity to make a living. So tonight, I'm going to give you everything I know about how to become a professional inventor, because I consider myself a professional inventor. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about, what does that mean? Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'll continue. I've been helping inventors for the past 20 years through a company called InventRight. I've been writing articles with the help of my daughter. She's online, Madeline, for the last decade. And we have written together, I think, how many articles is it, Madeline? I've forgotten. It's at, what's the number? I always say, everybody, is it 1 million?
It's in the hundreds. It's probably over 300 something, 400, 500. Yeah,
I think it's,
I've lost track, to be honest.
I think it's 1,000, or I think I counted 1,000 articles, 1 million words. You'd think I'd run out of topics here. Apparently I have not. You would think with 1,000 articles, everybody would be on board yet, but people are making a few mistakes. So along with writing for a decade, writing books such as this one here, I wanted to do a deeper dive. And what I wanted to do with this new book and what I'm going to go through tonight is really ask industry experts. So let's go to the next slide, please, Don. You know, it's one thing to get my opinion or maybe somebody else's opinion, but I wanted to get 30 industry experts' opinion, okay? Because I think it's important, right? I have my own opinion, and you're going to hear other people out there talking about their opinion, but I wanted to hear what the experts were saying to us, and I wanted to hear what we were doing right and what we were doing wrong, and I wanted them to tell us. Because I thought at this point in my career, and at this point on educating people on this process, it's time to get their opinion. So I interviewed 30 different industry experts in 17 different categories, and I asked them questions such as, does a patent matter? Do you need a prototype? What are we doing right? Tell me about deals, licensing agreements. I wanted to know from this industry, from the leading experts, their opinions. And that's why I wrote this book. And it's in this book, Become a Professional Inventor, with all these different interviews. And to me, I learned one big thing. It's different with every company. My specialty is licensing. As everybody knows, how to take an idea and license it to a company where they have all the distribution, they have all the relationships with all the retailers, they have the manufacturing, they've got everything in place, and you show them an idea and they rent it from you, they license it from you, and you collect a royalty on each and every item they sell. That licensing business model, to me, is growing by leaps and bounds in every different industry. And I wrote about it in the book, Become a Professional Inventor, in all these different industries. But there's one thing that just jumped out at me, and Madeline knows, I couldn't stop interviewing companies. I couldn't stop because I wanted to hear what they had to say. Because what they were saying to me shocked me, Don. It shocked me because what they were saying was that every company, regardless of what industry, has certain requirements. It's not just one way to do it. So the only way for us to really work with these companies by licensing our ideas is to ask them these questions. Because if you don't ask, you don't know how to supply them with the right information. I was blown away. Some companies told me patents matter. Some of them said, we don't care about a patent at all. It was all across the board. But there's one thing they told me that was consistent with companies that have embraced open innovation. And that's the next slide, please. Companies need ideas. Music to my ears. I couldn't believe, I loved it when they said this to me. When I reached out and interviewed the head person over at Hasbro, the biggest toy company by revenue in the world, and he said to me, Steve, 60% of our product portfolio comes from independent inventors. I was like, 60%? Yes. Some of the companies told me the only way for them to keep being innovative is to get ideas from us. That's how important we are to them. I was a little surprised they were so open about it. I was a little surprised they were telling us how important we are to them. So once you realize that, it changes the way you think. Now you know they need ideas, but how do I work with them? And how do I become a professional? And how do I build relationships? All those things that are important for you to license ideas. So open innovation, companies that are looking for ideas, it's growing by leaps and by bounds. And the reason why this is growing so big it's the most efficient way for companies to find new ideas is to open their doors for people like us to submit ideas to. It started in the toy industry, but now it's exploding in every industry you can imagine because it's a great business model. Why? It's free. They get to look at all these ideas from people like us and not pay us anything until they take it. Holy smokes, they love it. What they realize too, if they open the doors, they're going to see ideas from people that have different experiences. They're going to see ideas that are maybe ideas they would have never have thought about because they're kind of designing themselves in a box and they've been doing something the same way over and over. So they've opened these doors in all different categories. Companies need ideas from us, but we have to do it correctly to become a professional inventor. Next slide, please. The number one thing these companies told me, and I was a little shocked at this, Don. They said, would you make sure you're showing me a new idea? Like, what do you mean? Doesn't everybody make sure they're sending them a new idea? But they all said this. They said about 85%, even higher, of every idea that gets submitted to us, we can find that same idea on the internet within 2 minutes. I was like, what? They said, no, they're not taking their time and doing their homework right. They're rushing. They're not just doing a Google image search, right? And maybe they're not even doing a prior art search, looking for prior patents on Google Patents. In fact, I know the reason why they're not doing a good search. They're afraid they're going to find it. So everyone that's listening tonight, you have to realize your job is to make sure your product is new and has a point of difference. And it can be similar to other ideas. That's okay, but it has to have a point of difference. Don't show them an idea that doesn't have a point of difference that they can find. Because when you do that and you send an idea to them, maybe through a portal or maybe through an email or maybe through LinkedIn, if they find it within a minute, that's the point they put you in the amateur pile and you cannot get out. See, what you've done is that you wasted not only your time, you wasted their time. And once you get in that amateur pile, they kind of keep you there because you just wasted their time. So the book that I wrote, Become a Professional Inventor, it's all about, it's not that you've licensed ideas before. It has nothing to do with that. It's how you conduct yourself. See, everybody thinks I become a professional inventor if I've licensed ideas, but not in their eyes. In their eyes, you're a professional if you understand the process and you're communicating with this correctly and you're doing things that allow them to bring you into their world, to talk to you, to build a relationship. That's when you become a professional. It's not how many products you licensed, right? It's how you conduct yourself. So please be aware of your time, their time. Always send them an idea that's new, novel, and has a point of difference that's very clear that they can see. That way they'll put you in the professional pile right away. Slide number 3, please. Yeah, here's the other thing. They're seeing a lot of ideas that the companies told me that really aren't a right fit. You know, and I know what's happening here, and I want to talk a little bit about that. They said that inventors are not taking the time to look at their business and know their business and really understand their business. See, what happens, you come up with the kitchen idea, okay, and you're excited. You're really excited about it. And you have a sell sheet, maybe you file a PPA, and you're going online and you're trying to find those companies that want to work with us. And you see this button that says submit here, or you're looking for that access to that one person. You're only focused on your idea. but you're not focusing on their business. You're kind of blinded by it. And I have a kitchen product, they're a kitchen company. I'm going to send it to them. Now, the problem is companies specialize in different parts of businesses. And I'll give you a great example. OXO is a big kitchen company. They're wonderful. I have a lot of their products. And they have embraced open innovation. They want to work with you. But they're only looking for kitchen products that are not new. They don't want new. They don't want gadgets. They want you to look at a traditional kitchen product that's been around for 20 years and you've made it better. That's what they're looking for. And they're not going to say that on their website so clear. You have to kind of read in it a little bit. Sometimes they're mission statements, sometimes they're blogs. But once you find it, they'll say, look, we take existing ideas and just make them better. But I have a lot of people I know that have kitchen ideas and they're trying to show them the latest kitchen gadget that's never been done before. It's not a good match. But they think, well, maybe they'll take it. Or maybe they haven't thought about this one category, or maybe they haven't addressed this problem. No. They don't do that. It's too risky. They want products that sell day in and day out and just make them better. So giving you that example, you have to realize those companies are getting ideas, especially OXO, with all these products that don't fit their product line. So what happens? They get your product and they're looking at this. Did this person even look at our mission statement? Did they even look at our website? I mean, did they know that we don't sell towel holders? And you just sent me a towel holder? I mean, have you done your homework? So they're saying, know their business. Go to their website, look at their product line, look at their price point, read their blog, look at the material that they're building their products, look at their favorite products, really know their business. So when you do submit, it's a good fit. And they're going to put you in the professional pile. They might not say yes, but at least they know you're a player. And they're not going to remember your name. See, they don't forget your name. Here's the other thing, too, they told me. They don't forget who you are, okay? Because there's one person that gets those submissions. And sometimes this happens. You submit an idea, it comes back, and someone said no, and you want to argue about it. Well, no, you didn't understand it. No. This is a huge market. They don't forget that, right? Because they do know their business. A no is a no. So, and they remember that. In fact, I interviewed someone at one of the toy companies, and they said to me, this person sends an idea to me, talks to me, has a great idea. I get to see it. I write back, great idea, but not for us. And the person went back and wanted to argue about it over and over. And she said, that really wasted a lot of time. And then the person 30 days again sent another idea in. And she goes, I don't want to deal with that person. I don't care how great the product is. That person's a pain. Now, we think if our idea is just that important, it overcomes everything. It doesn't matter if I'm a little crazed, or it doesn't matter, how I conducted myself. It's the idea that matters. No, you're wrong. Because I used to think the same thing. They're interviewing you as much as they're interviewing your product submission. Goes hand in hand. Because that person that you're reaching out to, if they like your product, they have to bring you into their business. And can you imagine you embarrassing that person? Here, I brought you in to meet my boss. I'm going to bring you in. We like your idea. And you start to go a little crazy on them, asking for too much money and being unreasonable. That's a bad reflection on the person that brought you in. So know their business, and don't forget they know who you are, right? Next slide, please. Yeah, good marketing material. Don knows this too. You have to give them something that they can understand your product submission within, I would say, less than a minute. If they have to read through your patent that you sent them or your pitch deck of 30 pages, and you make it really difficult for them to know what your idea instantly, they're not happy about it. And they're going to put you in the amateur pile right away. They're going to look at that sell sheet that you did yourself by piecing it together, and they know you're not a professional. They're going to know that. See, they want to deal with people that have invested in knowledge and time and wanting to build relationships and understanding the company's product line, submitting good ideas, things they can understand quickly. So you're an asset. The minute you go outside that world a little bit, you're a pain. And guess what? I'm a company and I get 4,000 submissions a year, and I don't have a lot of time to try to figure out what you just showed me. It doesn't work that way. So your sell sheet is the first part of a good marketing material. Should be one page. It's a one-page advertisement of your product. It should have a benefit statement at the top, your value proposition. This is the big benefit, a big picture of your prototype or your product, or maybe a 3D model so they understand what it looks like. A couple bullet points of just the features, your contact information. It's really simple. It's like an ad that you would see if you're driving down the freeway going 80 miles an hour. You just get it instantly. I cannot tell you how many sell sheets I see that all the same size pictures are all the same size. I don't even know which one I should look at first. And I'm reading it and I'm not quite sure what it does or what problem it solves. Because as inventors, we know it, but we're not presenting it correctly with the marketing copy that grabs their attention, that kind of zeroes in on what their customers want, and something I can see real quickly. So you have to really be good at your marketing material. And also your 1-minute video. Videos today are probably the most important selling licensing tool there is in the world. Is a 1-minute video, 15 seconds of a problem, make it black and white, make sure someone's struggling. Then go to color. Life is great because I'm using your product and everything's wonderful. Music's playing, birds are chirping because this great product does such a great job. They want to see problem/solutions. And that format you can see on DRTV, companies such as All-Star. Go to All-Star Innovations. Look at all the little videos of these 1-minute pitches. They're cheesy. They're awful. They work. That's what's really funny about it. They actually work. So your marketing material has to be done correctly. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen sell sheets that people are doing themselves. And you don't have to do that yourselves any longer. There's a lot of people on Fiverr, Upworks. I know Don probably knows a lot of people that do it. We do it over at InventRight for people to get a pro, right? And you don't have to have a fancy prototype. Do a 3D model. All right, this is what it looks like. That's pretty simple. But this is the catch to good marketing. Always sell the benefit. What are you doing for me? What are you going to do for my customers? The target are their customers. Why would my customers care? If you cannot sell the benefit, who cares about anything else? Okay, because the benefit is everything. So work on it, study it. You can watch, I'm sure Don's got a lot of YouTube videos on this. I do too. Learn as much as you can about sales sheets and 1-minute videos. Next slide, please. Oh, Don, you talk about PPAs. I know you do, and I do too. Provisional, patent applications. I love them. It's a great tool. It's an affordable tool. You can actually, basically take a picture and file it, I think. But don't do that. Learn how to write a well-written provisional patent application. The laws have changed in the United States. It's first inventor to file. What that means is you need to file quick And you don't have to file a non-provisional patent application, which is very expensive. And you're probably too early if you file one right away. File a provisional patent application, but make sure you do it right. And you can do it right by, information on the internet. Don does it, I do it. There's some software programs. We sell one that's called Smart IP, where a law professor and patent attorney Gene Quinn produces for us. That's a very high level that allows you to write one that's pretty darn good. Is it perfect? Yeah. Does it have to be? No. But what you want to include, if you really want to do it well, and I don't mean well by protection, I mean writing it well so someone licenses your idea. That's from a business perspective, not from a legal one. So what does that mean? A well-written provisional patent application from a business perspective. What that means, please include any variations and workarounds. Basically, steal it from yourself. The reason why I'm saying that if you do that, you really have done your homework, and they will notice that you've done your homework. They will notice that when you do a lot of drawings and you're showing some variations, that you're thinking and you're showing them other ways of doing it. But you're also not only protecting the invention, but when you write about the variations, the workarounds, you're protecting the innovation, which has more value. There you go. Also, here's a great tip. Here's a pro tip. 97% of all patents, maybe that number is a little high, maybe it's a little low, it's probably even higher than that. 97% of all patents never recoup the costs it takes to file them. Something's really wrong here. And what I think is wrong is that people are filing patents or provisional patent applications on concepts. All right, that's okay. But why don't you add, if you can, maybe a little bit about the manufacturing, the process, the steps, expand upon it, learn a little bit more about not only the concept you're filing on, but actually how to make it, and maybe make it at a cost that's affordable. Wow, what a thought. What a thought about adding good information so a licensee can see that you really thought it through. Variations, workarounds, maybe some manufacturing techniques to lower the price point. Boy, that has value now. Now from a protection standpoint, which it still does, but it has value to the licensee. That is huge. And make sure if you're going to do drawings, make sure they're nice drawings. They don't have to be patent drawings, but make sure they're nice drawings because it shows a level of professionalism. Now, how do you get all that manufacturing? That's, Steve, I don't know anything about manufacturing. How do I get that information? Very simple. First thing to do, go to YouTube University, everything's on YouTube, and try to learn as much as you can about the manufacturing techniques. It's pretty simple to do. Second, if there is a manufacturing facility making something similar to what you have, why don't you go for a tour? A lot of these companies will let you tour them, and don't ask them about your invention, but just play dumb. Hey, how does that work? Hey, how does that work? And learn about the process. Simple to do. If you really want to dig a little deeper, find an electrical or mechanical or chemical engineer on LinkedIn, maybe in your particular category even. Maybe someone that actually works on the machines, an ex-employee of the machine your product's going to be built on. And contact them on LinkedIn and ask them, you need a couple hours of their time, and hire them for a couple hours and have them sign an NDA with work for hire language. So there's no confusion about any of the information they provided you. So you still own it. You're still the inventor. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you do a little bit extra work, you can really file a well-written provisional patent application that has huge value and is marketable. Here's the catch: marketable versus other applications, other ideas which are not they're not really marketable. So I like PPAs, as you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about it. I love them. And I think if you're smart, you can use those PPAs to raise money if you want to, or get a licensing deal if you want to. It gives your potential licensee confidence, takes away risk. That's how you get the deal signed. Number 6, please. God, I went on forever on that one, didn't I, Don? Okay. Understanding manufacturing costs. Wow. When I was, could we go back to number 5? One thing I want to mention about this too. When I asked all the companies about patents, I was so surprised at what they said. All of them would love to have patents, but all of them felt they weren't necessary. Isn't that crazy? We'd love to have them. Are they needed? No. Would we love to have them? Yeah, of course. Will we still license an idea without a patent? Absolutely, we will. Because they realize today, because of the speed in which products go in and out of the market so fast, that if you waited for a patent to issue, you might miss the market. Number 2, they realize also to chase people around the block that maybe are copying your idea is probably not the greatest use of your time, since there's so many online sellers too, right? So, but it does have value to them. And if you file a well-written provisional patent application, later you give them the option to determine if they want you to file a non-provisional patent application. That's all it really is. It gives them the option. 95% of all the products that we see licensed that invent right, and we see a ton of them, there's no patents. And that really upsets a lot of people, especially the legal profession. They're like, how can you license anything without a patent? Well, it's not about a patent anymore. The laws have changed, a lot of copycats, speed to market, all these things add up to sell first, sell fast, show me a great idea. That's what it's all about. So, but given that they don't care, although they love to have it, always file a well-written provisional patent application, because now you left the door open for a non-provisional. There you go. Next slide. Understanding manufacturing costs. Oh, geez. I didn't know this was going to be so important, to tell you the truth, because I do like, by the way, manufacturing. I'm a manufacturing guy. I love it. I love manufacturing. I love seeing your product come off the production line. And I'm in the packaging industry, and every time one of my packaging products go down the line, it's like printing money. I love it. I'm fascinated by it. I never want them to stop the presses, keep printing that stuff. So where you really become an expert. Now, you don't have to do this at the very beginning, because it does take a little bit of time. But when you start to understand the manufacturing costs of your product, you're able to design it in such a way to really hit the price points they're looking for. You could have the greatest product in the world. And if the category for that particular product is, $9.99 and $19.95, they sell within that certain range. But your product, your concept that you came up with, once it gets manufactured, which you really don't know how, but if it did get manufactured, might be $50. It might retail for $50. It doesn't fit that particular range. And because of that, they're not going to license it from you, right? You submit it to them. It comes back. No, thank you. They don't even tell you why. Just no, thank you. You want to control that a little bit by understanding how to manufacture your product. Now, how do you do that? Again, that's like one of those things. Steve, you're telling me I've got to learn how to manufacture the darn thing. Come on. Isn't it enough just to come up with the idea? No. If you really want to be a pro, you start to understand a little bit more about manufacturing costs. And there's a lot of engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers that just specialize in that. And you could hire them to look at it. And they'll even, some of those guys will come up with a material list, a material list of all the components even. See, when I was interviewing all these people. I had an industry expert that was electrical engineer at Hasbro. And he said, Steve, let me tell you what really happens. And that's why I wanted to pull back the curtain on what companies were telling us what's happening. And he said, I work for Hasbro. I'm an electrical engineer, and a product comes in, and this team at Hasbro, new product acquisition team, they send it to me and they say, hey, could you do a price quote on this product? Now, if I have a lot of time, I can look at it and maybe spec it out correctly because I know manufacturing to get the cost down appropriately. But sometimes I'm just so busy. And this product's just an idea. What do I care about that? So I might just send it over to my contact over in our manufacturing facility, and it comes back. And of course, it's going to come back too expensive. Of course it is. Because those products need to be spec'd correctly for manufacturing sometimes. So the pros, they understand a little bit. And the more you're in this game, the more you will know. Some ideas are so simple, who cares? It's really easy. You look at this one, you look at yours, we can do this. If they can do this, we can do this. It's going to cost a little bit, probably the same, maybe a little bit more. But sometimes they're more complex. Find some people that can help you with some of the manufacturing costs. And you can also use some of that knowledge in your PPA with some of the components you might be able to list, or some of the methods of manufacture. Maybe instead of being a 3-piece mold, it's a 2-piece mold. You don't know until you ask some of these people that can help you. Understanding manufacturing costs can be extremely important, especially with big ideas, small ideas. It's just good knowledge, but it takes time. And if you don't know it, find someone that can help you, and maybe even build a team on some projects that understand that process, but you can learn it yourself. If not, like I said, visit facilities, watch YouTube videos, ask a lot of questions, get close to the people that understand manufacturing. Next slide, please. God, that was a mouthful. Okay. Be patient, be polite, and build relationships. I was really surprised when these companies said, this isn't speed dating. Could you hang around a little longer? Because we know if we build a relationship with you, there's a very good chance we could work together. I said, well, what do you mean work together? He says, well, Steve, a lot of ideas come to us, but things have to be tweaked, have to be changed. So if we build a relationship, we can kind of work as a team to get it right. But a lot of inventors, what we do? We jump around and we don't really build relationships. We take our idea and sometimes we think it's all about us, and we throw our idea up against the wall and we submit it to a company and we never submit another idea again. And there's no reason for them to give you feedback. There's no reason for them to invest in you because you're gone and they might never see you again. So they're saying, can you stay in an industry long enough to know who we are? Can you stay in the industry long enough to know our business? Can you stay in the industry long enough to build a relationship with us because we value you? So don't run off so quick. Hang around a little bit. It's not all about you. It's about us as well. Number 8, please. Yeah, because everything we're talking about tonight, from doing your homework, submitting good ideas that are unique, understanding their business, by building relationships, by filing good intellectual property that truly has value, you know what you become? You become an asset. Yeah, that's what they told me. You have value to them. And all the professional inventors that I interviewed for the book as well, they basically told me the same thing too. They stay in an industry long enough, they build relationships, they show them unique products that are new and novel, and they become part of the team. They become an asset. So I heard it from both sides, and it was really amazing to hear that. Number 9, please. Yeah, keep submitting ideas. You guys, I'll tell you, to build a relationship, this is what you do. You put together a great marketing piece that's a good fit for their company. It communicates clearly. The one-line benefit statement's strong. Your video is fantastic. You send it in, they tell you no. And you say to them, thank you for the opportunity. I'll be back with another idea. Then you come back again and you do it again. you come back and you do it again. What you're showing them is that you're a pro, right? And pros keep on coming back. So those companies know for a fact that the first idea you submit to them, they probably won't take. But they also know if you hang around long enough, there's a very good chance we start to talk and we start to give you input. And before you know it, there's a good chance we're going to take an idea from you. But it all takes a little bit of time. But they want you to keep submitting ideas and don't just run away so fast. Next slide. Hey, that's it. Wow, that went quick. Hey, Don, why don't you pull up full screen so we can see everybody and answer some questions.
There we go.
Wow,
Well,
did
Stephen,
I go
that
to
was
town
great.
on that one or what? Did I talk too much, you guys, or what?
It was great. I mean, one of the things I really noticed you drove home, and a lot of the different points was a lot of times it's about the relationship, and that so many inventors so many times just miss that part.
You know, Don, I'm glad you mentioned that because a good friend of mine, Richard Levy, which produced the Furby, sold 75 million Furbies. He's one of the top toy inventors. He still invents today. He's a good guy. And he told me, Steve, that the best advice I can give anybody about how to be successful is two things. It's what you know, and it's who you know. What you know is staying in an industry long enough, right, that you know their businesses. And who you know is being in it long enough that you know the people, because it all comes back to relationships. I think this whole business comes back to relationships, right? Because if you're in this business long enough, you're going to know me for the rest of my career. You're going to know Don too. If you're in this long enough, 5 years from now, when something comes across your desk and you need some help, you're going to reach out to Don or me, right? That's because you built a relationship with us. And I like to think that what Don's doing and what I'm doing is building a community of like-minded individuals. And I see we've got Wayne here. Wayne's from Tampa. He's one of the leaders. Hey, how you doing, Wayne? He's part of the community too. If you're down in that area, you need to know Wayne, because this is your community of like-minded people. You never know when someone reaches out to me with an idea where I can pick up the phone and help that person, right? So it's all about relationships. Hey, how you doing, Wayne? Good seeing you.
Nice to see you.
So who's got a question out there? Anybody got a question for me? Yes. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, good, Stephen. Thank you for your time tonight. And first of all, I just want to say you've really been an inspiration for me, and I've enjoyed your books as well.
Well, I never thought I'd ever write a book. I can barely put two sentences together, and when I do, it's spelled wrong. And I never thought I'd ever write anything. That's why I have my daughter here, Madeline, helping me look good with all the writing we do.
Very good. Yeah.
So thank you for saying that.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Thanks to both of you guys. So I'm in healthcare, Stephen. I'm a physical therapist, but I've tinkered outside of the realm of medical products. So really, just two things. I'll try to move quickly so someone else can speak. But I did have a toy idea at one point that I made my prototype on a 3D printer. I tried to contact Mattel, and I was informed that I needed a toy broker. And at the time, I had so much other stuff going on, I kind of gave up on the toy idea. So that's question one. Do I have to have a toy broker? And kind of all of that. On the second thing, so I have a shoe insert that I've developed that's new, different for the treatment of plantar fasciitis. I know that it works. I've collected a lot of data on probably 250, 300 patients, and plantar fasciitis can be a very stubborn condition. I have that prototype right now in the hands of a company in Kent, Ohio called Sorbothane.
Okay.
They make a super absorptive material. It's on like the bottom of a Vitamix blender, so on and so forth, used in NASA. inserts as a whole is about 20% of their market or so.
Okay.
And as you were speaking, I was kind of kicking myself because I'd read the books. I didn't submit a sales sheet or anything, but I did talk with the CEO for approximately 40 minutes before I mailed them the prototype. So they are actually, we're in the process right now. They're supposed to get back with me. So the head of design and manufacturing is seeing if it's actually feasible, you know, if they're going to be able to manufacture it.
Well, those are two great questions. And the part about the manufacturing, that's why I told you how important that is. Okay, so you're seeing it firsthand. It all plays out at the end of the day, you guys. At the end of the day, they're all going to try to manufacture it. If they cannot manufacture it, it gets kicked out. Or if it's too expensive, it gets kicked out. I don't care what it is. So learn as much as you can. The toy industry has changed. And if you had talked to me 5 years ago, I would say, run from that industry. I try to talk everybody out of that industry. I was in the industry at Worlds of Wonder. I was lucky. I licensed the Michael Jordan wall ball, collected royalties for 10 years. That industry is a beast. It's hard. Everybody's chasing the #1 hit because if you get it, it's wild. Okay. But that being said, that's the first industry that has embraced open innovation. So that means for 70 years, they've been working with independent inventors, right? And so they have departments, are really ready for everybody. But for years, it was an old boys club, right? They considered you either a pro or an amateur, and they still do. They still do today. So what that meant was you could barely get to Toy Fair without, signing your life away. They wouldn't even let amateurs in at Toy Fair. They had toy brokers. They did all these things that kind of keep you at bay because they only wanted to work with pros. So they wanted people that were serious. But let me tell you what's changed in the last couple of years. And that's why we have a lot of webinars with toy people now. You'll see more things on LinkedIn about toy inventing now. It's exploded because they've opened their doors to everyone now. And I really like that. We had Rich Mazzell, he's the senior product acquisition director at Hasbro. He came on and did a webinar for us. And he said, look, I'm doing this webinar for one reason only. I don't want toy inventors. I want ideas from you guys. I was like, what just happened? I mean, that's like a major change. They realize that if they open the door, they're going to see more ideas. And that started with crowdfunding. They started to look at ideas at crowdfunding, and they started seeing, hey, that's a great idea. And they also started watching things on YouTube that were blowing up. In fact, he said, we took an idea that was on YouTube from some guy because he had like 10 million views. So what this means, the walls have come down. Now, still recognize when you're playing with Hasbro and Mattel, you're playing in the major leagues. And if you haven't, if you haven't played in the major leagues, maybe you shouldn't play there at first. I like to get a little practice going. So those guys, when you play with the major leagues, the top inventors in the world are playing there. Too much competition. Step it back down. Go to those companies that are third tier, second tier, third tier, because those guys will treat you differently. The royalty rates will be higher. They won't consider you an amateur. No, the reason why they'll treat you nice, and they've told me this too, they know you're not, they know that you're probably showing the big guys first, and they get the secondhand stuff. They know it. They don't like it, but they know it. You're chasing the big guys and you're leaving those guys behind. That's what they know. So they're going to treat you better. They'll give you a better advance. The royalties will be a little better, and they'll keep on saying, please submit to us first and stop sending to those guys. So that's my 2 cents for that. Toy brokers are great if you're going to stay in the industry long enough, but make sure if you find a toy broker, and the toy brokers are basically people that review, they want to partner, they share royalties 50-50. But a lot of those toy brokers, I get them know these guys. I'm not wild about those guys. Something about them, they won't give you all access. They'll keep you just enough I don't like that. I don't like people that charge for access. I don't like it. They can teach you about the industry. They have some ins and outs, but you can learn it yourself. But if you're starting out, if you can find a really good toy broker that will teach you about the industry, then that's good. That's a good relationship. But
Thank
those
you.
guys are hard to find. Go ahead. Great
Our
question.
next question
Thank you.
is Bob
Thank you, Ryan.
Browning.
Thank you.
Who's up? Who's up next?
Bob Browning. Go for it, Bob.
Hi, thank you for taking my question. I have a background in developing toys for major theme parks and also consumer housewares, mainly laundry care categories. And I made my employers tens of millions of dollars probably from the products I have developed and launched from a product management point of view.
Okay.
But I've never done it for myself. However, I had an experience quite a few years ago with a device we called SureCall. It provided temporary power for a cell phone. And we got a temporary license from Everready to keep it off the market and away from Duracell. And they paid us a lump sum of money for, a 6-month evaluation period, at which time they didn't decide to pursue it.
Okay.
So, but there were some things around that I didn't, I felt that they weren't really taking it seriously.
Okay.
And I would like to learn more about the process and some of the nuances of, how to understand, are they taking it seriously or not? Should I press a little bit harder, lay back, but I felt like I was a little bit over my head in terms of understanding that. So any resource, book or whatever you could recommend, that would be great.
Okay.
Separately, if I would like to find a list of companies that are open to inventors and inventions. I keep an ongoing list of product ideas, and any resources you could recommend would be helpful. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you for coming tonight. You did the first great step. Okay, so it's all about education, and you have to get it wherever you can. If you're going to stay in the toy industry, I would pick up Richard Levy's book, right? And he's got 7. Find the one that's really a good fit. The guy's an expert at it. If you really want to know the ins and outs, he's the guy to ask, and he's got a book on. And I would research Richard Levy if it's the toy industry. If it's the other industries, if it's a broad view of licensing, I would say read my first book, One Simple Idea. Get the expanded one, the new edition expanded one. That will give you the format. That's a great foundation. And of course, if you want to step it up a notch, I would become a professional inventor. The one thing that you're going to find from the books that I write or the articles, because InventRight has gotten to such a size that we have students in over 65 countries now, we're pretty current. You're going to find some really current information because we're doing it day in and day out. Don knows the same thing. He does it day in and day out. So he's going to be current. There's a lot of people out there that will have information that they're just not current. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where they're still telling you have to have a patent. And I just want to pull my hair out going, no, you don't. I've even read books from Nolo Press written from patent attorneys that say, licensing agreement, you have to own something. That's not true at all either. They're old. So be current on whatever you do. I'd also highly recommend watching InventRight TV.
Okay.
Close to 600 videos that will drive you absolutely out of your mind. They're like potato chips. You have one, you're going to want another one. Don's got he's got a TV YouTube show too. Watch this stuff. Educate yourself. That's the
I'm
first
not
step.
quite to 600 yet, Steve.
Can you believe it's 600?
You are way ahead of me on that.
Yeah, tell me. I think I didn't have gray hair when we started those. So here's the other thing. If you're close to an inventors group, join.
Okay.
Join. And although they're not meeting live now, because of COVID, they will eventually. And if you're in Tampa, you're going to go to Wayne's group. And there's groups all over the country. So find your group and educate yourself as much as you can. The other thing I want to make about the list of ideas, I love this. Steve, do you have a list of companies that I could possibly have? Yes, I have a list of over 3,000 companies looking for ideas. We have it on our website. You have to join. You don't need the stupid list. I just said it. Did I say that? Did anybody record that? Don't record that or repeat that, Steve. That's terrible. You don't need a list from anybody. Make your list. Do your homework. Find those companies that are a good fit. Make your own list. You don't need a list. I think that they're outdated. The minute you put a list together, they're old and tired. Make your list. God, did I sell my stuff? I sold my program pretty well right there, didn't I, guys?
You did. Yeah.
Great
thanks.
job.
Thank you for
I'm sure Andrew would kill me if he heard me just say that, but go ahead. Who else has got a question?
Leo, do we have anybody in the chat box with a question?
Yeah, actually, Michelle M writes, I just did it like Dear Abby. Is there a liaison that can connect the manufacturer and the retail store?
Don, do you have an answer for that? I don't know. Do you?
I was waiting to hear from you.
I'm not quite sure that's why that's even important. The manufacturer to the retail store. If I'm a manufacturer, okay, and I have been a manufacturer, and I want to get to a retail store, I would love for that to be easy. It's not. Okay, let's just put it that way. When I was in the musical accessory business, we were eventually in tens of thousands of stores. And I remember when we first got in the business, I said to my partner, hey, how do we get in stores? And we asked this one guy that was in stores, and he said to us, call them. What? He goes, yeah, Steve, you got to call everyone. Well, who has time for that? I said, isn't there a faster way? Maybe a distributor. So we called a distributor up and said, hey, you distribute all these stores. How about carrying our product? He goes, no, you don't understand. We distribute, that's great, but we don't sell. The stores need to ask for your product. Once they ask for your product, then we'll distribute it. Buyers, you can get the buyers at stores, you can. And some of them hold events when you go to, some of them you can reach to them on LinkedIn. You can get the buyers, but it's painful. It's painful. You know, I became a Walmart vendor. It's painful. We sold product at 7-Eleven. We sold around the world. It just is a long process. Now, are there reps out there? Yes, there's reps that will come to you and say, look, I can get you an X amount of retail stores. And yes, they can do that. And yes, sometimes they do a good job. You'll pay them a commission, probably 10%. Not bad at all. The problem is if you don't have the relationship, if the distributor has the relationship or the salesperson has the relationship, the minute they leave with that business and not you. So spend the time to reach out to those guys independently, build relationships. It's a pain in the rear, but you can do it. And don't miss Benjamin Harrison coming on. He wrote this book. I'm the co-author of that book with him, Licensing Ideas Using LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the way to connect with everybody in the world, but you have to do it right. If you don't do it right, it's not going to work. So that book's going to come out, I think, fairly soon. It's in the editing process now. Benjamin's been teaching, reaching out to LinkedIn for over a year to some of our group, some of our people over at Inventors. He's a master at it. And he's going to give you guys all the tips, all the advice, all the secrets on the next event that's coming up. And don't miss it. And plus, please pick up the book when it's out. You'll enjoy it. Books are a pain in the rear and the right. And there's no money in books. I don't care what anybody tells you, but they are important. Pretty quiet crowd. White, quiet crowd.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
All right. I went to Toy Fair last year and was part of the Inventors group that shows their toy ideas the day before Toy Fair starts. And
how'd that work out for you?
I had a bunch of interested people.
Okay.
But basic fun, wow stuff. a representative from Mattel, but the COVID thing happened and some people got laid off and those contacts disappeared. But so then I tried putting my things on the Spark at Hasbro, and currently it's in the next stage called Ignite.
Okay.
So what happens, I don't know what the process is or how it goes from there. And I'm going to probably contact you after this because I'm not much of a negotiator. This is my first toy. I've been in the toy business. I worked at Schilling Toys for years doing tin toys and things like that. But
okay.
And then freelancing at Hasbro for a couple of years. So now it's there.
You know what I like? We just had two people that said we're working for companies that are making a lot of money on our own idea, on our ideas. I love that you guys said that.
Yeah.
I hate that. And that's why good, talented people leave. And that's why you're here asking questions, because you've already made that company millions. Your name is not on it. You're not collecting the royalties, and you're going home at 5 o'clock and you're not feeling right. When you create your own ideas, there's a passion there. There's a love for that. And there's a recognition from that. And that's why good, talented people leave companies eventually. And that's why you can out-design them. Yeah. Don't forget that. Talent always leaves. Okay. Talent always leaves. Toy Fair, what they tried to do that year, congratulations getting in, number one.
Thank you.
Okay. Because they had a lot of people go through that. They handpicked people, so you did a good job. Number two, they're trying to educate, as you can tell. They're trying to do what ShyTag is doing in Chicago. If you're not familiar with ShyTag, please look it up. Mary Cousin runs ShyTag. That's where they take inventors, amateurs, and professionals and connect them with companies. Check it out. It's in Chicago. She does a great job. The guys over at New York Toy Fair, they're trying to take part of that and learn from it and do it too. Yeah. But that's the first year they just did it, right? So it's only the first, you're the guinea pig.
Yeah, was it? I think they did it last year, and I just found out about it. So this was I guess the real full year.
Yeah, they're still figuring it out. Yeah. And they haven't made the full commitment yet, and all those things.
About it was I needed a deadline. I'm horrible. I need a deadline, and that was a good deadline for me to get everything done. I've had this idea for 10 years. I needed the deadline.
All right. So do this. Learn as much as you can about the toy industry. I know you're working for them, but you're stepping out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been a couple of years since I've been there, and now I'm finally. I'm in a totally different career, but I still want to. I just got out of it so I could do this. So I could.
Okay. Well, recognize too, leverage that you've been in the industry. That always helps.
Okay.
So leverage that, right? You've got experience, but learn the other side of it. You know, learn the other side. Go pick up the resources, read the books. Eventually, I'm going to write a book on negotiations, which is long overdue, of how to overcome every issue that will come in front of you. And I'm going to let go of all the secrets. That's the main secret sauce at InventRight, and I'm going to let that out of the bag. If I could get Madeline to help me write that. Yeah, she goes, don't.
I'm on that section now in the book.
One after another.
I like writing. I need a lot of help, but I also like to pull back the curtain, and I'm going to write about big ideas, little ideas, how to negotiate with the biggest companies on the planet, and how to overcome every obstacle in a licensing agreement and where the sticky points are from a business perspective. And that's the best way to look at those licensing agreements. You guys, Don, I got to go. I got another meeting to go to.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for being a part of this. We really appreciate it.
I'm over at another one talking about big ideas. So I want to thank everybody for coming on. I want to say again, do not miss Benjamin Harrison. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about. And please come to these online groups. Get to know Don even better. If you're not part of his community, be part of it. He's a good guy. He knows what he's talking about. He's part of my world. He needs to be part of yours.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys, I got to run. I got another one to go to. Bye, everybody.
All right, Stephen, we'll see you. Everyone else, just remember, we have these meetings, if you're visiting, every second Thursday. It's online meeting and join us from anywhere, including Europe. So thank you all. Have a good night, and we will see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If anybody has, they already signed. Oh, no, they're there. If you guys have any questions that I might be able to email them, because I saw a couple of people, A9218, I think, had a question. Just, feel free to ask it here, and we'll try and relay it.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll wait till you get the you get it into the chat. We'll give everybody a few more minutes.
Yeah, I thought I saw someone else too. Let's see.
Hey, Don, I gotta run. I'll see you guys.
Okay, Ryan,
yeah.
thanks so
See you,
much.
Ryan.
We appreciate it.
Did it? Okay.
Good to see you.
You too.
See, Michelle M also. Oh well. It was nice meeting everybody who hadn't been here before.
Or contacting anyone.
All right. All right. I will see to it that he gets it, and that's about it.
Thanks.
All right. Fantastic.
All right.
Well, thank you all again.
Thank you.
Thanks.